Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. We are honoring Ginger tonight over at Ginger's Corner with her celebration for 3,000 subscribers. Y'all, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. So to honor her, we're doing a hop, and what she wanted us to do for the hop was to use scraps. So I am using absolutely all scraps tonight. I am not even using a sheet of 12 by 12 as a background. I am going to use a sheet that came out of, the sheet protectors that come with that white sheet in them. I'm using one of those white sheets just to piece together the pieces that I'm going to use as my background. So I'm going to get, I've kind of been thinking through it. It may turn out something like this, but for right now, I'm going to get all of this off of here, and I'm going to just create the base or the foundation. I'll show you what, it's going to take a little bit because I'm creating what I think is kind of a cute embellishment to go on this. So let's just kind of get some of this stuff out of the way. And let me show you what I'm doing for the base page. I've got so much stuff going on here. I hope I can remember, because I didn't sketch it. I didn't do anything, so I hope I can remember sort of how I had this. I'm using, like I said, this is just one of those sheets that came out of a page protector. I've got 6 scraps here that I'm going to piece together for my page. And I'm going to put the blue at the top, and then I'm going to put, actually like this. This is just a strip that I cut off of you can see it was in a paper pad, but I'm going to just leave that there just to make it a little wider. And then I'm just going to build this base page, and then we'll come back and start putting the pictures on and figuring out our embellishments. Okay, we're back. This is, I've got the paper put down. I decided to tear these edges. This layout is going to be absolutely full of texture. So I decided that I would tear those edges just to kind of keep with that theme of texture. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you this is my son, daughter-in-law, and their 2 boys. And they're working the trunk or treat at their church at Halloween, and so they're dressed like scarecrows. So I created this little scarecrow, and I think he's gonna have to go in the middle because he's pretty big. But then I got to playing with him, and these are just some from a couple of Jolie's. I'm going to show you this one was a Western one, and this one was like a hayride kind of thing, fall thing, that are just Jolie's, like from Hobby Lobby. So I took the hat and these boots from that. I have to have another boot somewhere. That's not good. Oh, there it is. So these little boots were together like this, and so it covered up this heel. It doesn't have 2 heels, but I think I can do that the same. I've just got to tilt them a little to make them fit. Now, I just cut a pattern out of some paper. Don't be afraid to try to just create things. I just cut a pattern out of some paper and made this little shirt and overalls to put on my scarecrow. So I think I wanted something like this. I may spread those a little to give a little more room in the middle so that my scarecrow isn't covering up too much of the pictures. But I think something about like that. And then I'm just going to put that hat on there. I'm going to put the boots on him down here. Just put his boots on. And then I've cut out, I got this this die cut from Temu, T-E-M-U, Temu, I don't know for sure. And it's like these little cat tails, which it just reminded me of fall is why I used it. And I'm going to put these cat tails down here somewhere along there like that. But let me show you what I did, and I want to talk you through this. I made them in advance because I knew it was going to take a long time. I just cut a little piece of paper like this. I just cut a little piece of paper, and then I took my raffia and just cut some little bitty pieces. Just cut like, just a little piece like so. Just took a little piece, and then I just started cutting it like that. And I did several of them, and then I'd ruffle them up, and then I would glue them to this little piece of paper. I did that 3 times in order to get the 2 sleeves and what's going to come out from under his neck. Just made these little things. So I'm going to put these little things under here. That's his little, I cut his little kerchief and put it in his pocket there. But that's how I'm going to do stuffing my little scarecrow. And this will go up at his neck like that. And here's his other little arm, his stuffing on his arm. So that's going to look like that and have our little scarecrow. And then I'm going to hang his hat up there. So he's going to have his boots, the hay coming out of his neck and his arms, and he's going to have his hat. And that's going to be our scarecrow. So I'm going to put my pictures down and build my little scarecrow, and then I will be right back. Okay, I got the pictures down and I kind of put this little scarecrow together. I want to talk to you just a little bit about this little scarecrow. My daughter-in-law's shirt is like this royal blue and red plaid. Well, I didn't have any paper that was royal blue and red plaid. So what I did is I had this red and white kind of checked paper, and I thought, I wonder if I can make that more like that shirt. So I just took this cheap marker that I have and used my ruler and went down beside the red lines, both directions, and it made this plaid. So if you don't have the paper you need, just get resourceful and see if you can't figure out a way to make something that matches what you need. And then I just I cut a little slit in his pocket and stuck this little scrap in there and kind of fringed it a little bit on the bottom. I cut out his little overalls out of this blue, and then I took my white gel pen and just went around the edges everywhere with the little dots to make it, to like the seams and everything, the sewing. So that's how I made this little scarecrow. So don't be afraid to just dive in there and try to do some things that make some things. If they don't work, what's the worst that can happen? You throw it away. It's paper. You buy some more. I put these little, I had this little red star paper, so I cut out a little square and a little rectangle, and I've inked everything with, what is this? It is chipped sapphire. I inked everything I'm going to ink with chipped sapphire, and I inked the edges of it, and then I took my little black fine tip pen and made the little stitch marks on that. And so that's how I made my little scarecrow's outfit. Now we've got to decide just where we want him. I know that these are cattails or whatever they're called, but I think that's what I want to do down here, just to soften this bottom. It's a matter of, do I want them all the way across or just almost up to him? I think maybe in the background, just right up to him maybe. So let's put his, let's get his stick on there. Let's do that first. Okay, let's get his, oh, that was the right side because it's inked. So let's get this on there. And this is just, I guess I'm off camera a little bit there. This is just, I had a piece of this paper that I had run through my wood grain, what do you call them? Those embossing folders. I went blank. I ran it through my wood grain embossing folder and just gave it a little bit of a wood grain. I touched it just a little bit with this blue sapphire just to make that wood grain show up just a little bit more, and that's all I did to that. So I think I want to just meet this right on top of that. So we'll just start gluing these down and then decide how many we really want. I'm just barely going to touch these down across there so that we can, and I'm going to leave like just the tiniest little blue line of paper right below those. I'm not sure why. I just decided that that was what I was going to do. These, like I said, this is all scrap. Everything on here is scrap. And so that would please Ginger very, very much. If you do not follow her, if you're not subscribed to Ginger's Corner, you're missing out on one of the neatest communities. And that she has a Facebook group where you can do embellishment swaps and just all kinds of fun stuff. But it is the neatest community you will ever be a part of. So if you enjoy that type of thing, you really need to join that. We do embellishment swaps of all different kinds, and she's an amazing scrapbooker. You don't get 3,000 followers, 3,000 subscribers by not being an amazing scrapbooker. She has a laugh that will make you laugh. You cannot keep from laughing when you hear her laugh. She is just a person of integrity and grace and does a lot of good for the world. So if you are not a part of that, you need to become a part of it. It is awesome. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. I think I'm kind of liking that look pretty good. These are not even all the same, but I really don't care. Like I said, our goal was to use a bunch of scraps, and we are. And so that's where we're headed. So let's finish. Now that we've got this done, we can put our scarecrow on there. I wanted to get this at the bottom so I would know where to put his boots. I've lost that other boot again. How can I keep losing that other boot? There it is in my lap. And believe you me, if I ever drop anything from this desk, it is never to be found again. I think I'm going to put those boots where they kind of do that so that they overlap. So I think this is about where we need. I kind of didn't, I should have moved that stick up a little bit, but I didn't. So, all right, I've already put foam tape on the back of this to speed this up. I figured this would be kind of a long video because there's so much detail and everything in it. So I tried to do a few things in advance so that I could speed it up just a little. I did back my photos, and again, they're not even backed in the same thing. They're in what some of these are out of, but I just pieced it together the best that I could, and then put them on the red. Okay, so here we go with our little scarecrow. We'll get his hat up there, but I need to get his boots on. Let's get his boots on. I've already put them on foam tape. So let's just see how this can go. That foam tape is so sticky. I mean, once you get it down, it is down. Okay, so there's that one. And then this is the one we've got to get that covers that. Okay, I think that's going to work. I can always trim off a little bit of this leg of his pant. There we go. So that it's not particularly sticking out of that boot. There we go. All right, so I think I've backed the pictures. I tore this just to keep with the, because like I said, this is so textured. I wanted to keep that textured look going. I didn't get those off. Get all of this down, and then we will move on. Okay, I think that's it on that. Let's get his hat down. We'll have our scarecrow built. I started to put a little head on there and it just didn't look right. I didn't like what it was doing, so I didn't do that. Okay, we can, down here at the bottom, I'm going to do some flowers, like just stuck in, because I'm going to put some in a cluster up here. And I've got a little bucket that's cute that came off of that Jolie's, and this side is got more room because I had to put him in the middle. So I'm thinking I may put this little bucket in this little corn stalk there, and then some flowers. What happened to my other flowers? When I scooted everything off, I think I lost things. And then I always rake my arm in it and rake them off into the floor. And then, like I said, once they're off in this floor, they are never, ever to be found again. So if I have to, I'll go in search of some more. I just hate it when I do that because I had everything pretty much pulled that I thought I was going to want to use. Okay, we're going to wait on that just a minute. So let's talk about this up here. I cut a frame out of some of this same stuff, and I thought this was kind of a little cute little frame that kind of stayed with the kind of rustic look of this layout. This is just a little piece of burlap that I have, and I just started pulling the little threads out to make this look of the little fringed look. And I was going to tuck that in up here and start building a cluster somewhere over here. I've got my journaling done. I put a piece of the raffia through that. That needs to be inked a little. While I'm doing this and kind of figuring some of this out, let's do the twist. I have a really sweet twist for tonight. That may be something else that I've lost. There it is. The twist tonight comes from Proverbs. And this part of Proverbs is where Solomon was teaching his son. And he was teaching his son how to have a life that was peaceful and good. And so listen to the advice that Solomon gives his son. It's several short verses, but it's well worth the listen. Proverbs 3:21 through 24. My son, preserve sound judgment and discernment. Do not let them out of your sight. They will be life for you, an ornament to grace your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety, and you will go on your way you will go on your way in safety, and your feet will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. I mean, isn't that what we all want? To have just this life that, when we go to bed at night, we think, today was a good day. I did what I should have done today. I made good decisions today. Making good decisions is tough, especially in the world we live in today, because so many people just are so unscrupulous. I mean, they just do not have any scruples. They'll do anything to get ahead, and they'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll deceive. They'll do anything. And so to live that life that makes good decisions and has good discernment, so that when we lay down at night, we can go to sleep and know that we've done what we should have done. I think that was Solomon's advice to his son, and I certainly think it's good advice for us as well. All right, this is kind of where I'm headed with that. So I'm going to glue these little pieces down and do the little stitch marks on them to get our journaling tag ready. Okay, there we go with that one. And and another one right down here on the corner. And then if I can find the pen that I used, I'll make those little hash marks on that. Just a really fine tip little pen, and I just went around like that, because we all know scarecrows don't sew their patches on neatly. So just go around it with these, I call them hash marks, but stitch marks, just to make it look, I guess, authentic. All right, there we go. So that has our journaling tag done, I think. I'm gonna kind of make that not quite so slanted. I can always trim that fringe off. And I don't want to cover up too much of my picture. I don't like to cover too much of my pictures up. So I think that is kind of what I want there. And then I've got these flowers. I can't even tell you how old they are, but they're kind of a papery, almost feel like the raffia. And so I'm gonna put one here in this little cluster, and I'm battling back and forth between, I think I want, this one is more the craft color, and even though it doesn't give as much contrast, I still think I like it better than this one. And then I'll leave this light one right there. So I think that's what I want for that cluster. And then I have this. It says, forever is composed of nows. And I just think that's a neat little saying that kind of goes with my son and his family's philosophy. They do so much together. He coaches, the little league team, and they go to church together, and they do their chores together, and that's their philosophy. You can't get today back. And so I thought forever is composed of nows really kind of fits that. So I think this is going to be that cluster. I just kind of started throwing things there together, and I think I can live with that the way it is. So let's get that down, and I'm going to just throw some liquid adhesive under this burlap. This Nuvo will hold it, so I'm just going to throw some under there and press it down and let that be good. We will. I could trim this little, no, I don't know. If I ruin this, I'm going to trim this, because I may put part of it coming down out of this bottom part. I felt like there was kind of a void down there, and it's kind of hard because it isn't together except in a couple of places, but I think we can make it work. So let's get our little frame under there. I'm going to cover that end anyway, so that'll be fine. So that's going to cover that. So I think I may actually put that one end of this tag up on a piece of foam tape, and then I'll glue this end down. So that it is something like that. That gives it a little lift there on that upper end. I think I like that. I maybe should pull it just a little up this way. Get a little more room for that. So I definitely want this flower cluster there, and then I want to be able to put, and this is that corrugated, let me show you. That corrugated paper, and so I've used it here. I have another one of these little sentiments, and then I'm going to make a sign up here. So let's get this flower down, get this cluster finished off. Get the craft and the red, and of course the blue. I've just built the colors I don't always do that, but this time I definitely built the colors of this layout on the colors in the pictures. Sometimes it works out like that and sometimes it doesn't, but this time it definitely did. I'm going to show you something else that I decided to do on this also. I really don't have a bunch of enamel dots. They're expensive. I usually use Nuvo or something like that instead. But what I did this time is I just, actually you probably saw, I just used my hole punch and I punched holes out of this corrugated paper. Of course it mashed it, but it still has a lot of texture. And I thought that would make good centers for these flowers. So that's what the centers of these flowers are going to be that we're going to use tonight. So I think that's got that one. Let's go ahead and glue this down and we'll have that cluster finished. Oops, get off from under there. That one is finished and I like it. Okay. Then, like I said, I lost my flowers for down here. Let's see what we can find. I have a few more stuck over here. There's one that'll work. I need 3. That one. Let's see what this little one does here. Well, it's gone forever too, I suppose. I'm telling you, if I drop it, it is forever gone. That's just all there is to it. There it is. Okay. I don't know, that's awfully light on this light colored stuff down here. But it's going to have a, I think I like the red one over here. That pulls the red back down there. It was a little bit limited on what I had. So, and then maybe these two over here. Seems, I feel heavy over on this side. Definitely heavy on this side. But it's the big side of the paper. And then I've got this little sign, if I haven't lost it. Oh, there are my other flowers. I've got this little sign that I want to put up here. This is actually my title. And it says, "So much fun. Family things are so much fun." And I was thinking that I might put some of this up here also. I'll cut that down, but that's kind of what I was thinking. I might be able to get some of this up here. It may just be getting too much. But I like too much. I like things that are busy, and I think I'm going to end up putting, you know, I'll put this over here, help give this side some weight. And then I really wanted to put this little frame here as well. Like I said, it sure does feel heavy on this side, but I still kind of like it. So I think I'm going to do it anyway. The thing I could do, I guess, is, let's see if we do 2 here and 1 over here. That maybe helps it kind of not be quite as heavy on this side. Is this just too much? Does it just need to be left alone? So I really want that coming out of the red. I don't want to cover the red. I think I'm going to do it like that. I think I am. So I've got to cut this off just a tiny, tiny bit and put it right there. And then I think I'm going to do this like that. I'll put a little bit of foam tape under that, so because that corrugated, this is on a corrugated little post, gives it some height. So I'll do that, and we're just going to get that right to the top of the red. Probably have my head in the picture. I think those are sticking off the top, but I think they'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. Then we've got to decide how we're going to finish this off down here. If we're going to, I think I like this smaller piece over here, so I'm definitely going to commit to that. Then we're going to have to trim our edges off. So I'm going to commit to this. Then we need to get our flowers down in this last little sentiment. And then I think we're through. Oh, our little cornstalk and our bucket. Now I could put one on one side and one on the other, but I really kind of liked them grouped together. So do we like them together? I just like things grouped together. See, I like that. And maybe just put this. What if we put the bucket over here with the sentiment coming off of it? Let's see what that looks like. I kind of like that. I think that's what we'll do. Does it even need this? Yes, no? I wish you could tell me. I wish you could talk back to me. Well, let's put the flowers down. So we know we're going to do the flowers. I think I like this one here because I think it keeps it, if I put it up here, I just think it's going to be a little bit, my dog is whining. She was trying to knock my arm off a while ago, so I put her in her bedroom. She has a bedroom. Part of a closet is her bedroom. So she's whining. Okay, we need our centers and our flowers. Oh, I apologize for her. All right, so that's got our flowers finished. Let's get our bucket down. Now I'm going to find something to put in that bucket. I need a tiny little piece of, what did I do with that? A foam square to put under the end of our sentiment, because that bucket's got some depth to it. Let's get that done. And it just says make a difference, which they really do. They definitely make a difference. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. I kind of like it there. Okay. Oh, bless her heart. She is so mistreated. Okay, let's see what we've got here. We have So Much Fun is our title. I may trim those down just a little. We've got our clusters. We have honored Ginger in her 3,000. Oh, I'm just so impressed with that. 3,000 subscribers. So get over to her channel and watch her, enjoy her. And then if you like, join her Facebook group and join us with swaps. But here is our layout for today that is honoring her hop. And I hope you enjoyed Scrapbooking with a Twist. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would certainly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the twist. God bless and have a great day. Good night.